I have some really good and interesting news. I'm serious. Okay. So, you know, Viktor Orban, the president of Hungary, he was Donald Trump before we got stuck with our Donald Trump. He's the one that the whole Republican Party sent their party members there year after year to study how him and his extremist right wing party dismantled their democracy, and managed to keep him in as dictator well beyond what the Constitution allowed. He's the one where the architects of Project 2025 traveled and studied how he pulled off his big Yahtzee like disinformation campaign, fear mongering around the LGBTQ and immigrants and so forth. That guy, well, he's up for reelection this April. And the oppositional party trying to oust him, that's by the way, leading in some of the polls, they like, they mean business. They brought in somebody, they're introducing somebody as part of their campaign who's going to run the entire economy of Hungary if they win this election. And he is, if you're ready for this, he is the former global executive vice president for mobility at Shell Oil. Like, he's not like the head of the United States Shell Oil division. Like, he's at an even higher global level. Before he stepped down in 2024, he oversaw a network of 45,000 retail outlets across 85 countries and managed a workforce of 500,000 people. He's credited for developing Shell's V Power fuel and leading the company's transition towards electric vehicle charging. Now you're like, okay, what's the big deal? They are letting Hungary know that they mean business. It's no longer going to be about disinformation, fear mongering, making everybody scared about immigrants and transgender people, that they're plummeting, their economy has tanked because of Viktor Orban and right wing extremism. And they are so serious about turning Hungary around that they're bringing this guy in. And let me tell you what it means. So, this former executive plans to shift Hungary's economy away from being an assembly plant for foreign manufacturers, just used for its cheap labor, and instead focus on supporting small local businesses and knowledge based enterprises. In other words, growing in technology, modernizing the country, bringing in all kinds of opportunities that more developed nations have. Okay. Energy independence. He advocates for diversifying energy supplies to reduce Hungary's heavy dependence on Russian oil and gas. And let me tell you, Orban and Putin are like this. Get ready for Putin to completely help interfere with this election. Just watch. Restoring confidence. He plans to unlock billions in frozen EU funds and create a predictable investment climate to counter what he calls the ad hoc policies and windfall taxes of the current administration. In other words, all those promises Orban always makes before each election that ends up just hurting the country and being big duds because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. They've got somebody who would know what they're doing, and they turn the economy around. And by bringing him on board, the oppositional party is ready to assume government responsibility and possesses the professional expertise to manage the nation's finances. This is what they are showing by bringing him on board. Let me explain another way. Look at Trump. Trump did what Orban did. He hired all his loyalists to run the government, and our economy is tanking because he hired a bunch of idiots with no experience who don't know what they're doing. Orban did the same thing. And think of it as somebody, the Democratic Party, saying, this is who we are going to put in charge of turning America's economy around, creating an economy that works for everyone, something that we haven't had for decades. Like bringing in a big gun like that with that kind of vision and experience, Orban is shaking in his shoes. This is phenomenal, cutthroat strategy. I love it. There you go.